Now, another thing that I absolutely love to do in this city, of course, is ride my bike. And if I want to stay up late tonight, I can join what's called the Midnight Mass Bike Ride. Simon Little is the organizer, and he's in studio to talk about it. Simon, good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. So what's the Midnight Mass Bike Ride?
Well, it's a bunch of crazy people who get together twice a month, the second and the fourth Thursday. We meet at Grandview Park, which is at Commercial Drive and Charles Street, across from the Havana Cafe. And we'll meet up, and at midnight we'll cruise around the city and explore and find crazy different places you didn't know were there and ride in a group and have a really good time.
Why midnight?
Why midnight?
Well, because there are other mass rides, right? There's a mass ride coming up tomorrow, which is a daytime
thing. The critical mass. That's where the name comes from, is just sort of following the basic concept of getting a bunch of people together and riding in a group and sort of using the street for something different and having fun. But why midnight? I guess the idea, last summer, someone mentioned to me that their friends were talking about the idea of getting together regularly and just doing this at night, which I love doing anyways, and nothing ever came of that, but a few months later down the road, my friends and I got to talking about the idea again, about how, rode home one night in the fog and like, man, isn't that fun? Don't you love riding your bike in the middle of the night? And then we thought, well, let's give each other reasons to do it, so let's organize it, let's do it regularly.
How many people have you had out at the...
They're growing exponentially.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the wintertime, when we started doing this in the winter, which was maybe a crazy idea, we were getting like average of 10 or 12 people would come out. And yeah, it's been growing all through the spring, and the last ride we had about 60 people. So,
which is pretty impressive if you're somebody driving around at night and you see 60 cyclists together.
Yeah, we get interesting reactions from people for sure. It's woo, a bike gang is probably the one thing I've heard yelled the most times. So.
Now, how does the cycling differ in the city at that time of day?
Oh, it's really amazing, actually. I mean, if you hang around bikers, you've obviously, or maybe not obviously, but you've probably heard somebody say, imagine a world without cars in it. Well, that world is available 8 hours a day. I mean, it's different than sort of like the political goal of imagine a world without cars, right? Because that comes with a lot of other things attached to it. But in terms of the practical application of owning the road, we do in the middle of the night. There's so little traffic out there that you could really ride on a highway, you can ride on the bridges, anything you want, and it's pretty safe. And especially when you're riding in a large group like that, I mean, that's sort of the seed concept of
They notice you.
Yeah.
I cycle in at 4 in the morning, and it's great, because there's nobody around. How long do you guys usually cycle for? Can I catch the tail end, or are you guys done by 4?
You might see us coming home.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been a lot of occasions where we'll usually get out for an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how many people are there and sort of people's will. And roll up to somewhere that's open 24 hours at that point, 2 a.m.
I was going to say, what places have you found around town that you can take advantage of?
We've been to lots of different places. The pizza places are always a good one, but we try to find somewhere we can sit down. So we've been to Hamburger Mary's, we've been to Denny's, we've been to 24-hour Pho Noodles, we've been to the Nom. I think the guy at the Nom really hates us now because we just show up without calling like
60 people every time and order
barging in the door and all order at once, right? And there's the one guy and the one guy in the kitchen, and they're like, oh, it's those bikers again. But yeah.
So if people want to join you tonight, they meet you where and when again?
Grandview Park. It's a Commercial Drive and Charles Street. We meet at 11:45, and we roll at midnight.
And where are you planning to go tonight?
The thing is, there is no set route ever. So people are encouraged to bring ideas of where they'd like to go. I'll talk to people beforehand. Sometimes people have ideas, but we basically gather everybody together once we've all met up, and about midnight gather everybody together, go over some really basic sort of safety kinds of things, and sort of try and democratically come up with somewhere that people would like to go to. So,
Great.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck. Maybe I'll see you on the way home. I'll
Okay.
ding, 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 ding to you.
I'd just like to mention the website, actually, if possible.
Okay, sure.
People who want to get more information about this, you can check us out on the web. It's www.midnight-mass.blogspot.com.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Simon.
No problem. Thank you.
There's Simon Little. He is the organizer of tonight's Midnight Mass Bike Ride in Vancouver. And again, Grandview Park on Commercial at 11:45 if you'd like to ride along.